In this video, we will be covering changing user passwords, deleting users, deleting groups, adding users to groups, and removing users from groups. So let's get started by learning how to change a user's password. We will issue, first of all, sudo, and then passwd, followed by the username that we want to adjust the password for. We'll be using the test1 user for this, and we are now entering their new password. And we're done. Password updated successfully. This is a good example of root privileges and why you need to guard them. By having my username in the sudo group, I was able to modify this password. And notice it didn't ask me to supply even the current password for that user. So it's very important that you understand how powerful sudo is and why we want our system to be secure and not giving everybody root privileges, not adding everybody to the sudo group. So that's how you change a password. If you want to delete a user, sudo delete user. And I will delete quest1, which is another user that I had created. So there you go. I just deleted quest1 as a user. Again, you're seeing the power of root privileges at work here. We're really digging in to Ubuntu server now, and you really are administering this server now. You are making big changes. Also, to delete a group delete, you will have to be have root privileges. So sudo group delete. And this is a group that I just made on here recently. And we deleted the Luda group. It's completely gone. Now, what if we want to add a user to a group? Let me go ahead and add group testy. All right, so I've added the testy group. And now let's say that I want to add test1 to the testy group. I will issue sudo add user test1 to the testy group. So you can see the syntax there. Okay? And I've successfully added the user to the group, and if I want to verify that, I can issue groups test1, and we can see that the test1 user, I also added them to the sudo group previously. Now they are added to the testy group. Let's remove that user from that group. Sudo delete user, then list the user, then list the group. So sudo delete user test1 testy. By issuing that command, I have successfully removed the test1 user from the testy group. You can see the output there. Those are the basics of modifying passwords, removing users, removing groups, and both adding users to groups and removing them from groups. Now, something I wanted to say here at the end of this user management section is that add user and user add pretty much do the same things. If we come in here and we open up the manual for add user, or you can use add group, it's going to add a user or add a group. Likewise, if we open up the manual for user add, it creates a new user, or you can update things. This is very similar to what we dealt with shutting down the machine. There are multiple ways to accomplish the same thing. However, I have given you the specific commands that I think are best. And so if you'll go over this user management section, both part 1 and this part 2, I've given you the commands in a particular way because I think they are most helpful and most easy to use. And so without getting confused, if you'll stick to those commands that I've shown you, then I think you'll experience a great deal of simplicity in adding users, modifying their passwords, creating groups, adding users to groups, and of course removing users from groups as well. Finally, do know that you can add a user to the sudo group and you're not editing the sudoers file. The sudoers file is already set up so that any user that is added to the sudo group will be able to gain root privileges by using sudo. So it's as simple as specifying the user and then specifying the group sudo, and you can add any user to the sudo group.